Okay, so here we have a channel named Christina Ilea or something. I'm sure I pronounced the last name wrong. A black woman that wants to pass as a white chick. She's got what are clearly that's not her real hair. See the very obvious and exaggerated part at the top. That's a weave. So she's wearing a wig, all right. That's fake hair. Automatically we know that. We can see like kind of the skull cap, dark colored plastic that the fake hair is attached to at the fake part in the hair that's supposed to look real, but it just allows us to see the flesh colored skull cap, which doesn't quite match her pigmentation. So we got fake hair. We got what are clearly fake glasses. Lovely. So, interesting. So far, everything about this chick is fake, including the plants in the background. Those are fake as well. Is there anything about this chick that's real? Well, let's find out. Anyway, she's produced an interesting video here. I saw about 5 minutes of it, and it's entitled "Gen Z Has a Dating Problem." So I think Gen Z is like mid to late 2000s to mid to late 90s to mid 2010s or something. So people that are like 22 to 20, 25, 26. No, if they were born in the mid 2000s, like 2014, no, the mid 2010s. Okay, so that would be like 2005. Okay, so like 19 to 25, 26, something like that. And they're having a big dating problem, apparently. Anyway, let's find out what that's all about, shall we? And don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to stay informed. Let's get into it.
Gen Z have been done dirty when it comes to dating.
I fucking hate dating apps.
Dating apps are by far the biggest waste of time.
We're living in a generation where 49% of people think how much you earn matters more than your looks. Dating app culture has created an environment where people have so many options that no one wants to commit. And people's views of dating is more polarizing than ever.
You need to ignore her, bro.
I am so tired of feeling like it's never gonna be my turn to find love.
Don't talk to her. Don't text her for a week. You're gonna be amazed at what happens next.
These are some very bare minimum standards to be setting, and why does it feel so impossible for them to meet?
One side of the internet will tell you that women are too picky and need to lower their standards, whilst the other side says that women aren't picky enough and need to raise their standards.
Yeah, we know it's not that their standards are too low. We know that.
Women cannot afford to date down.
How attractive a woman is directly correlated to how faithful they'll be in a relationship.
Nonsense.
I don't really care if this sounds mean. I can't respect a man who's done worse at life than me. How did you do worse in a system that was designed to help you do better?
Some people
She had a horrible nose job.
think that women have it worse with hookup culture, situationships, whilst other parts of the internet think that men have it worse.
Dating apps are uniquely depressing from a guy's perspective because you send out all these likes, then only a fraction of those likes turn into matches.
Why is it so hard to find a man who respects you and your time?
I feel like most people on dating apps use the app as like an ego boost, and they don't actually care about going out on a date or meeting up with someone.
Men have just
That's true for women, not really for men.
turned dating apps into like an easier way to access convenient sex.
We have never
Only the top 10% of dudes. The rest are invisible to women.
been at more polar opposite ends of the spectrum, but trust me when I say this is literally just the tip of the iceberg. Hey, if you're new, I'm Christina and I make videos for people who are feeling lonely. If you're a people pleaser, overachiever, over anything out, you're in the right place. There's a whole side of the internet that I've come across that are very anti-men. Not anti-men like men are trash sort of way, but
No, it is anti-men. Men are trash. What are you talking about? You feel the need to protect the sisterhood, I see.
more so, I'm living such a peaceful, happy, chilled life without a man in my life that I don't need a man. I'm
That's just cope.
happy with my friends, happy with my family, happy with my job. I'm so chilled and zen. There's that.
The women that say that are in their early to mid 20s and they haven't hit the wall yet.
side of the internet that I see, but then there's also the side of the internet that says like, this is my prime, I'm 25, I want to settle down, I'm ready to have kids, I'm ready for this, I'm ready for that, and they can't find someone that they want. I've made a video on why
There ain't very many of those chicks, okay? And those chicks have high body counts, have been ran through.
Gen Z is undateable, and how there's so many different things as a generation that we struggle with that make it really hard for us to find the right person. This is kind of a follow-up, but more a follow-up of just like how opposing our views are and how...
Well, that's your first mistake, thinking that there's some right person just for you. There ain't. I love the entitlement, though, of that kind of a mindset.
It makes perfect sense that we're struggling to date. Like, the culture of men on dating apps and the culture of women on dating apps, the perceptions that we all have of each other is just totally different.
Yeah, we're different. Men and women are different. Your mistake is trying to approach things as if men and women are somehow equivalent.
And I feel like that's why a lot of us are just struggling right now. This comment that I saw summarized hookup culture so well. Dating for women is like shopping. Dating for men is like a job interview.
That's not true. Dating with women is both shopping and a job interview, okay? Men are much more pragmatic in their approaches to dating. Yeah, we're going to ask questions. We're going to want to learn about you. That's what the first date is about. But shopping? Yeah, only if you're the top 10% of dudes, okay?
Understand that men are struggling a lot on the apps because it's like you have to be really attractive and really tall and you have to present yourself a certain way, otherwise you get no matches. Like, it's really common for a guy to go on a dating app for like a few weeks and swipe on people but literally have 0 matches.
Well, that's because these dating apps make their money off of the men for the most part, and they restrict the matches that the dudes get. So if you're just an average guy, you'll sign up for the dating app, they'll have some bots message you that aren't real women, and you'll think that, wow, okay, this is great, I'm getting some attention, and then you pay. They want you to pay, they try to entice you, but they offer these various tiers, and of course you buy the lowest tier and you just get like 1 or 2 matches. It's still bots. They want you to pay more, but some of these dating apps are ridiculously priced. Doesn't Tinder have like some like $400 or $500 a platinum, gold, diamond extravaganza membership? Most guys can't afford this. With the way the economy is now, getting the highest tier in regards to these dating apps, and even then, you're not likely to get much play because the women are paying attention to guys that are much better looking and make a lot more money than you. They have the illusion of plenty.
Which, as a girl, you can literally be an average looking girl and that will not be the case. Whether that's like quality matches is a whole different ballgame. I don't want people in the comments to be angry and be like, it's just not fair, like women get it easier, da da da. Trust me when I say the quality of matches is not giving.
But women do get it easier, at least sex.
Dating for women is like shopping. Dating for men is like a job interview. Again, I feel like the shopping analogy is a good one. I feel like that does paint the picture very well.
It's only half the picture.
Just shows that women have a lot more options. For me and my friends, when we talk,
they have the illusion of options. They have options for sex. They don't have any more options for commitment, because the dudes that they're looking for, that they're interested in, exclude them based on their indulgence of said options. So it's just an illusion.
Talk about the apps and we show each other the matches and we show each other the messages and then like the pics. It's just like the quality on dating apps. Sometimes I feel like there's a whole load of stuff on the clearance rack. Like, you're shopping, sure, but a lot of it is just on sale and maybe has holes in. It's not very good quality. You're trying to find an item that's like a high quality item. It's not in the sale. It's good quality. It's not reduced. It's actually worth the price. I just feel like that is the struggle that maybe a lot of women have. In terms of...
Well, what are you defining as quality? Oh, over 6 feet tall, 6 figures, 6-pack. I mean, less than 10% of the population has a 6-pack. When you combine that with the 15% of the population that's over 6 feet tall, and then throw in 6 figures, you're talking about an infinitesimal number of men that 80% of women are going after.
Hookup culture in general, I know that's a huge thing that makes people struggle with dating. I've not really got involved with hookup culture. It's not really my thing. I do know it's just a guaranteed way to get into maybe a situationship, and that's something that a lot of women struggle with right now. Is like, guys want the benefits, the circumstances, and the feeling of a relationship, but then they don't really want the label of one.
Okay, I'm getting tired of this. No, the vast majority of men want committed relationships. You're just taking the men that you want, sweetheart, and other women want the top 5-10%, and you're conflating that with the bottom 90%, and then saying that's all men. No. This is yet more proof, by the way, that women only go after the top 10% of dudes, and the other 90% are getting no play. And that women don't even see those bottom 90%. Just listen to her, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
I don't know if it's just me, but I also feel like men are just sick of women and women are just sick of men.
Half men are not, well, yeah. We're sick of the entitlement. We're not sick of women. We're sick of modern Western women, okay? Women in general, no. Just the entitled ones, which is most of the West, unfortunately.
Of Gen Z men no longer actively even trying to date. They're not even trying. And so the question is, well, why is that happening for women? Women, first off, are dating older. They want more economically and emotionally viable men, and that usually means older men. In addition, when young...
Emotionally viable. They want them to be Chad looking, but simp in demeanor so they can be controlled. Yeah. An even smaller pool to draw from later on in life. Brilliant, ladies. How many dudes are going to have the assertiveness and the levels of conscientiousness and disagreeableness to be top-tier dudes, but at the same time be simps when it comes to women? Not too many, but that's what they want. Or at least what they claim they want. They don't actually want that, and when they get with a dude like that, he disgusts them, and then they don't feel satisfied, and then they end up divorcing them. Anyway.
Women are lonely. They have much better social networks. They have much stronger friend networks, whereas guys become kind of lone wolves and kind of literally sequester from everyone and everything.
What he said about women having the social networks and when they get lonely, I guess they have friends, I totally see that. I literally saw a girl, I think I'm probably going to watch her video next. I literally saw a girl kind of complaining about the male loneliness epidemic. Maybe not complaining, but she was definitely like having a rant where she basically said like, I don't feel bad for men. She was saying like, whose fault is this? The patriarchy. You guys created this system and now you're not happy with it. If you don't open up, it's not our fault. Women actually open.
The so-called system, as you call it, just arose organically, okay? It wasn't created, all right? That implies intentionality, right? To oppress women. This is the problem, though. These women have these friend networks, but they're not good because these women give each other very bad advice, which just reinforces their unhappiness and bad decision-making.
Women open up to their friends. I think a huge problem with a lot of these things is that people are so general. Like there's such a generalization. Even just saying like women have social networks. A lot of women don't. Like.
Yeah, but we're not talking about the exceptions. We're talking about the majority, you idiot. I don't care about the exceptions. They prove the rule.
So many women have toxic friends, or so many women, I feel like they
most women seem to.
They literally don't have any friends. All they have is their family. Maybe they don't even have their family. It's such a generalization. And then, you know, the girl that was talking about...
What's wrong with generalizations? Yeah, women have problems with generalizations when they don't agree with them. That's all.
I don't feel bad for men. Like, men need to open up and stuff. Like, some men do open up. Some, like... All these things are so general that they actually don't even make...
Yeah, those men that open up are simpy, wimpy beta males, and they end up alone, divorced, living in a shoebox with a woman who's taken half their money and has custody of the kids.
Make any sense after a while, because it's like you're talking about a small group of people and then painting it as if like the whole gender is that way.
Right, like you're doing with men. Taking the top 10% and then conflating that to be all men. So you're guilty of exactly what you're accusing men of course. Or everybody else.
Comments of this video, people were saying, I can't afford a girlfriend. You've got to be making 100k a year to afford a girlfriend now. Rather just focus on myself. It feels as if love is dead. No loyalty, no authenticity, no love, no friendship.
Gee, it seems like the general applies here, or most of these comments that you're reading, lambasting relationships, are from men. Is that generality okay? Yeah, because it paints men in a bad light. In her eyes. Yeah. She's okay with that generality.
Everything is an ick or a red flag these days. I'd rather be alone than have my feelings be used against me down the line. That one's a bit sad. Facts, I'm 22 and completely have stopped looking at women. I'm sure there's truth to all of this. I'm not even going to dispute that. But honestly, I feel like it's the same on both ends. It's not just men that are giving up and thinking like, I've given up.
No, it's not the same on both ends. Again, this is your effort. Well, I can't say that word. I can't even say any kind of derivation of it. This is your evil death cult ideology mindset, okay? That's leading you down this false equivalency path. No, not the same for both genders. Not at all.
On women. Like, women have absolutely given up on men as well.
Nope.
Julia Fox in an interview talked about how she's not dating men anymore. I do think this is...
I don't know what you're talking about. They're running around, they're marrying simps, they're taking their money, they're taking their kids. What are you talking about? Complaining about we're the good men, why won't a man marry me? I'm searching Home Depot for a husband. You're just wrong.
It's part of a larger trend within a lot of women online and just women in general of like giving up on men, giving up on relationships, just reverting back to what feels safe. I'm never gonna date.
This is her running interference for women and the sisterhood in general. Oh, well, women are doing the same thing as men. They're walking away as well. So you see, it's both genders that are to play, but thanks to the tango, it's not really mostly women that are responsible and are doing the bad stuff, making bad decisions and ruining the dating scene. No, you see, it's both. She can't help herself. Even if she tries to portray herself as an unbiased viewer, she still can't help but try to protect the sisterhood and her fellow woman.
Men are ever again. Like when my friend says that to me, like I want to, go deeper into that. And like, will that really make you? And maybe it will.
Dating used to be a bit disappointing, and that's normal. But now it just feels overly traumatic. I want to be in love, but I'm tired.
Did you see her picture? That like a 50-year-old broad. 50-plus-year-old broad, of course.
Single 31-year-old, and I'm done. Something isn't right with men.
Right, you're 31. You can't find a man because you waited too long. You rode the ride for too long, got off too late.
It took me 4 years of no men to realize I'm safer and happier solo. My time away from men, I experienced
another old broad.
Exponential growth in every area of my life because I was no longer held back.
Let's just cope. She's just repeating what men say because she's salty. That's all.
Thing is, I wonder how long this will last because ultimately you can kind of ignore women. Like
It's going to last until the world collapses and all of the social welfare programs that benefit women and the family courts that benefit women collapse. That's how long it's going to last.
I focus on myself. Let me just kind of sort out my career, focus on myself. And as a woman, you can say, I'm just happier alone. I've got my friends. I don't need a man in my life. We can all say that, but at the core, we will all crave some level of companionship. And I don't necessarily mean a relationship per se, because we're social creatures. Like, we need connection with other people.
No, we don't need it. I don't think so. Some people do, but I don't think everybody does. So that's a... I guess, yeah, okay, now I'm doing it. I guess, yeah, the majority maybe. I didn't know. I mean, I as a man don't really crave connection with other people. In fact, I prefer to be alone. So she's wrong with me. Maybe I'm an exception. I don't know. Let me know in the comments.
Companionship and to be part of a tribe. It's the reason why, like, your life could be going perfectly. Like, you can have the career that you want. You can focus on your career, make the money, or you can, like, I don't know, like, things could be thriving for you. But if you don't have either really close friends or you don't have a relationship, you would feel like something is missing. Because
only if you're a woman. That's for sure. That's not necessarily the case for a man, okay? We can adapt better than you ladies. It's more of this false equivalency nonsense where she's trying to blur the lines between the genders to create some kind of equal responsibility between them for why dating is so messed up, when really we all know which gender is actually to blame.
Because whether we like it or not, I'm sure it's on, like, Maslow's hierarchy of needs to have, like, some level of...
Oh, no. Hierarchy of needs. She's quoting psychology bunk nonsense. Why don't you just tell us about the bumps on men's heads and what that tells us about their personalities?
Some level of companionship or, like, connection with other people, respect from other people, relationships. Like, you do need it as a human. It's not even...
No, the psychology is just another form of social control to get you to act in a certain way that the powers that be want you to act and to have the values, the things they want you to value. It's total bunk, pseudoscience at its best.
Like a want. You don't even want a relationship. It gets to the point where you will actually just need one. And I don't mean need like you need it to survive. You can...
I need other people. I must have other people. I am a slave to my needs. Yeah, that's the typical materialist's way of looking at the world.
Live your whole life being single. You can literally die.
I am not a slave to my needs, sweetheart. Okay? You and your either what is that, a wig, or it's definitely a weave of some kind, if not a wig. You're obviously a slave to some things, but not me.
Single, like you don't need a relationship per se. And I know that contradicts what I've just said, but like there's always going to be something like in.
Yeah, you're contradicting yourself all over the place. You should have written a script beforehand, honey, so you could get your talking points straight. Because you've clearly not put much thought into any of this.
Your heart telling you like there's something missing from my life. With that being said, I think it's healthy to have a single period of your life. Like I love how people are talking about focusing on themselves and like.
Yeah, they see. No, it's for women. What do you mean it's healthy to have a single period? Why don't you define the dates that it's healthy to be single, huh? Define it. And what are you going to do during that single period? Ride the CC, find myself. Yeah, and how do women find themselves? Well, we know how they find themselves, don't we? And it's not healthy for them. But even this broad, who's trying to portray herself as an unbiased actor, is telling women to do exactly that. Yeah.
Just doing things for them because.
Chameleon.
I think if you have a busy, thriving life outside of your relationships, I feel like you can then come to a relationship as a much more whole person. Like sometimes I think people go into relationships or go on the dating apps for a bit of like validation and to fill a void almost. I mean,
only women. Men don't do that.
That is, I'm going to argue that's what hookup culture is. Like people have a void that they want to fill and they're filling it.
See, again, how she's trying to create this false equivalency that it's both men and women that do this and they have the same reasons, and that, any of the incorrect reasons or insecure reasons or facile reasons that people use dating apps. I guess that's what they're for mostly. Both sexes are doing it for validation and fill some void. Wrong. It's mostly women.
It with like casual sex with people. Another thing, I feel like people are very motivated by fear in the dating scene now, rather than being motivated by hope. Like a lot of people in these comments are kind of sharing things about like how they don't have their feelings hurt, or what's the point of opening up? Like, I'm so traumatized. I feel like people are so scared now to get into relationships, and it's absolutely valid if you've had bad experiences. Everyone has. But it's also one of those things that it just comes with the territory. You can't really navigate the dating scene without having your feelings hurt. When I was 18 and I first started like going on dates and stuff, and I downloaded like Bumble for the first time, that was a big fear of mine, and I was trying to navigate it and like message.
I thought you said that you didn't participate in the hookup culture, but having a dating app and using a dating app at 18 is exactly that. She's so fake, like her hair.
Only certain people that were my type because I thought everyone else was going to hurt my feelings, or I would just be so scared of having my feelings hurt that I was treading really lightly. And I think if you want to date without having your feelings hurt, I almost feel like that.
I love how she's not making delineations between men and women. She's just automatically assuming that the way she feels is also the way men feel, and that her feelings and what motivates her is the same thing that motivates or motivates men. So she's a, death cultist, member, cultural, gender Marxism in this case, individual, just like the rest of them.
It's not going to happen. Human beings are human beings. Like, we will do the wrong.
Yeah, it's a tautology. Yeah, human beings are human beings. You're brilliant.
Wrong things. We all make mistakes. There is no way that you could even navigate.
We all make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. I'm going to tell you to make mistakes because making mistakes is normal because you're a human being. So I'm going to justify you making more mistakes, and even more mistakes. It'll ruin your life. But hey, you're human, so you make mistakes. So making mistakes is not only good, but it's great. It's okay because humans make mistakes. Yeah, but wouldn't you want to minimize those mistakes? Oh, no. Just listen to me. You'll maximize them.
Dating people without hurting someone else's feelings. Like I've gone on dates and I've had to like let people down. Like even though I don't want to say anything bad and I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, it just comes with the territory. So in a way, I think when you are motivated by fear and you're like, I've got my guard up, I don't want to have my feelings hurt, I'm going to back away, like I'm not going to get involved. It's just like that. It's kind of an inevitable thing. Even if you don't get your feelings hurt, you might hurt someone else's. And that's not a bad thing. It's just what happens. Like, it reminds me, I was actually talking to my friend. We were talking about Hinge. I was talking to her, I was telling her, I've met a new guy on Hinge. Things are going quite well. Like, I'm not going to get my hopes up, but like, he's nice. And I was like, I'm really nervous. I think we're going to meet up. But like, I don't want to catch feelings. Like, we'll see how it goes, but I don't want to get my feelings hurt. And I told her this. And she was,
you don't want to catch feelings. So you don't want to meet somebody and have real, genuine feelings for them. You're on Bumble, now you're on Hinge, but you're not a part of the hookup culture. Uh-huh. Okay, continue.
Like, what's wrong if you catch feelings? Like, just catch the feelings. You're not going to die. And I was like, You're right actually. She was like, we're so scared of catching feelings, but like catching feelings is normal. Like that is just what happens. It's not like this big scary thing that you...
Why would you not want to catch feelings? Because if you catch feelings and he catches feelings, then you both caught feelings, and then you can be in a relationship, and you might even get, hitched and have babies and be happy. Why would you have a problem with catching feelings? Unless, of course, you want to ride the, carousel for a while and just indulge in hedonistic pleasures. Ah, I see. But you're not part of hookup culture. Continue.
Can't survive, or that will kill you. And when she said that to me, I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, you're right. I think, I didn't click it at the time, but I think catching feelings and feelings being hurt is something that I built up so much in my head that I was so terrified of it. And I was weirdly like not fully being myself around people and like allowing dates to happen and allowing things to happen because I was like, I'm scared of having my feelings hurt. And I feel like
the only reason she would have this terror is from prior trauma caused by riding the CC. Being a hoe, essentially.
Like me in that situation, a lot of people I feel like have a scarcity mindset when it comes to dating. Like you should never put all your eggs in one basket or never...
That's the exact opposite of which is actually the case, which is how you know she's just a propagandist. Women do not have a scarcity mindset. If they did, things would be a lot better. No, they have an abundance mindset, which is part of the problem. Big part.
Like fully care about someone, because what if they hurt your feelings and then like you're gonna have to move on to the next one and then you're gonna be damaged and hurt moving on. It's kind of like you're even doubting the person before.
Yeah, and all this damage is why we don't want to date you after you've had so many bodies, ladies. Figure it out.
They've given themselves a chance to prove themselves to you. But with that being said, I think there's definitely in the Gen Z world, maybe even millennials as well, there's a lack of like an abundance mindset where people...
Only with men, not with women. What are you talking about? Now you're conflating men's situation to women's. What are you talking about abundance mindset? Do you have really low self-esteem or something, sweetheart? There is not a scarcity mindset among women. They have the illusion of abundance. They go on a dating app. She can be mid. She can be overweight. She can be obese. And her DMs are going to be full. And she doesn't have to do anything. So what are you talking about? We all know this chick doesn't know what she's talking about.
Are a little bit more trusting, and you could argue it's because of the circumstances, like there are less trustworthy people around. In a book I read called Attached, it's basically talking about our attachment.
There's no more or less number in relation to the size of the population of untrustworthy people than has ever existed. What are you talking about? She's so stupid. Maybe there are on the left, because these people are moral relativists and they don't believe in right or wrong. Everything is preference-based. Everything's relative. So, yeah, the people you're talking about are on your side, sweetheart.
Styles and how they show up and how they affect our relationships and stuff. And in the book, they said that one of the insecure attachment styles, which is avoidant, which is basically when you're one of these people that seems like you care about your partner, but deep down you're not fully invested. Like you're always in the back of your mind thinking like, oh well, if they were my perfect partner, they would behave like this, and well, my ex, they were great, my ex did this and they don't. Like you low-key in the back of your mind are always a little bit distant from your...
That's not avoidant personality. You don't know what you're talking about, you dummy. You're a dummy.
Partner, and you might be the sort of person to like ghost someone, or you might be the sort of...
An avoidant personality would often not even be in a relationship. They avoid. It's part of the descriptor of the problem. What are you talking about? She's an idiot. You're a moron. Well, then again, it's psychology, so anybody that believes in this stuff is more or less a moron.
Person to like cut things off prematurely because you don't want to get your feelings hurt. And in the book, they were talking about the fact that most people on dating apps are actually avoidant, and it's because they are quite detached. They tend to cut things off quickly, and they tend to cut things off and then hop back into the dating pool. Whereas the secure attachment style, which is people that are very healthy, can talk about their feelings, will be open and honest with you, they won't hide things.
Female, feminine. So that excludes any masculine men. If they're masculine, they're i.e. toxic. Yeah. Why don't you shut up? Propagandist, probably being paid off by the Biden administration.
They won't be clingy, but then they also won't be like detached and distant. They're actually often in relationships, so there's quite like a small pool of them in the dating apps because they're like happy in relationships. Even if things aren't going well and like sunshine and rainbows, secure people that have a secure attachment style are very willing to like communicate and talk things through. They're not gonna up and leave the moment like a red flag happens or like the moment they get the ick. Which brings me on to my next point, which is we don't date people, we date avatars. A lot of us have a weird obsession with like and the idea of a partner that we want. Like the avoidant attachment style that I was talking about, people that are avoidant have like this fantasy of what the perfect partner is, and they seem to constantly on dating.
Big shocker, they tend to throw people into classifications, avoidant, secure. It's no wonder then.
Apps chase that person, and if you don't meet all the
people like you, sweetheart. She's very lacking in self-awareness, by the way. She's talking about herself right now.
criteria and tick all these boxes, like they're gonna leave. Social media does not help with this because
that's most women. Most women have tons of boxes, and if you don't check them all, they leave. Well, Western women anyway.
Because I feel like we all have an idea of what every single celebrity relationship has going on. Like if you spend at least 10 minutes on Instagram, like you know who's broken up with who's just been surprised in a hotel room with like the roses and the petals, and who's just got like, I don't know, a car gifted to them for their birthday. Like you have such an idea of what other people are doing in their relationships that it makes
No, I really don't. I don't care. Only people like you care.
Makes you think, okay, this is what I want as well. If he's not going to do this for me, then I don't really want him. Or likewise, if my girl doesn't look like this, then or she's not bad enough for me. Like she's not attractive enough. Like I only want a girl that looks like this. So
you listen to this, by the way. So this is women's. They talk about how men have these unrealistic standards for sex and female bodies because they watch porn all the time. Well, these women have unrealistic standards, unrealistic expectations in regards to relationships because they follow celebrities and media, what's on TV and in the movies. So they're really no different than us men in regards to their addiction to certain media that creates and feeds delusions that misguide them and give them unrealistic expectations in terms of things they value. Women are no different, no better than men in this regard.
Someone left a comment on my video, and I think it sums up so well. We don't date people, we date avatars of success that we represent.
I love the humble brag there.
Present like trophies to our peers. You're not looking for a boyfriend, you're looking for a 6'2" guy, blue eyes, beautiful hair, nice career, who's attractive. To many women, only somehow loves you. And men don't look for a girlfriend, they look for a beautiful maid who has the face of an angel, the body of an Aphrodite.
We don't look for a girlfriend? Really? Again, they're talking about the top 10% of dudes. And even then, wrong. We're not shallow like you ladies.
Who he can enjoy whenever he wants and is only loyal to him. Humans don't want to be in a relationship with another human. Humans want to be in a relationship with ideals.
No. We want to be in a relationship. Us men want to be in a relationship with a woman who has ideals and sticks to those ideals, i.e. virtues that she values and adheres to. And we want to have similar values. So, this is just more of women projecting onto men their own foibles and fallacies and qualities. Yeah, more false equivalency nonsense.
That is...
But they're the empathetic of the species.
Is insane. We don't date people, we date avatars of success that we represent to our peers.
No, women do that, not men.
So I'm not dating this guy because I like the guy. It's like...
See, even she says she gives herself away. I'm not dating this guy. Notice she doesn't say guys and gals, just women, because she knows that it's just women that are like this.
I'm dating this guy because of what he represents. That's so interesting. I feel like I'm naturally inclined to be like, oh, but that's not how I date. And I genuinely don't think it is, because I have a running joke with my friends that, like, I don't date guys that are attractive. Like, I physically, I don't find men attractive.
Well, you're mid, honey, so, but you could. Well, they would just be with you for the S, so, but you're decidedly mid.
I physically can't look at a guy and find him attractive. To find a guy attractive, I have...
But she's normal and healthy mentally. Didn't she say that before? Now listen to her. She sounds deranged. I really can't look at a man and find him attractive. Oh, I'm very mentally healthy.
To talk to them. Like, you could show me Michael B. Jordan, I'd genuinely be like, I don't find him attractive. Like, I literally don't. A guy's only attractive if there's, like, something we talk about where in conversation I find him funny and interesting and, like, easy to talk to. Because to me,
Yeah, she's playing the pick-me. Is she pushing 30? Is that what's going on here? Yeah.
Attraction is more emotional than it is appearance. Like, it's why sometimes I could, like, go on a date with someone and, like, this has happened before. Like, I've gone on a date with someone and, like, I get along with them and my friends are like, oh, show us a photo of him.
And yes, a pick-me is a very real thing, and that's what she's trying to be. But she sounds so disingenuous and all over the place, and she's so contradictory of herself because she's really just putting on an act.
And I'm like, No, like you don't need to see the photo of him. Like, it's okay. Like, he's really funny though. Like, he's good to talk to. Like, he's really funny. Anyway, a lot of people date avatars. They don't date people. Maybe I'm being naive. Maybe I do as well. I don't know. But we tend to want a partner that is going to be kind of like a good representation of us in a way.
Yeah, because we date people who are like us, you idiot. Why would I date somebody that wasn't like me? It won't work out. Are you stupid?
I think maybe that's why some girls, maybe that they want a guy to give them like princess treatment, or currently there's a trend of like black cat, golden retriever. You might genuinely want that for genuine reasons. You're not trying to prove anything.
No, if you want that, you're an entitled, spoiled brat.
To anyone else, but maybe some women like want the princess treatment so that it's like, I can show this off to my friends that my guy buys flowers for me, he treats me to hotel rooms, he treats me to all these things. Like, it's less so like you genuinely in your heart want it, but it's more so like, this is an avatar that I can portray to other people. Another huge problem we have is
no, this is all just theory to you. You don't know what you're talking about. What you just said makes no sense. But continue.
Unlimited options, or the idea that we have unlimited options, because do we actually have unlimited options? Well, I don't know. The quality of people on...
You don't know? Are you stupid? No, you don't have unlimited options. You're an idiot.
Dating apps isn't...
There's not an unlimited amount of people, so no, you don't have unlimited options.
Always up to what you think it is. And I stand by that. I think people act like, oh, as a woman, you always have so many options, like you easily get likes, you easily get matches. The quality...
That's 100% true. And don't go on about quality, okay, honey? Because you all only focus on the top 10% of dudes anyway, and you're more than willing to share them, so shut up.
The quality, though. And maybe even as a guy as well. People always like to talk about how...
Notice she doesn't go into any real detail about what defines quality in a man, because then she would portray herself as what she actually is, grasping, greedy gold digger.
A guy that's in the top 10% attraction-wise will get access to a lot more women. But I'm convinced, I don't know if the quality of those women are really like what you think they are. If a woman is attracted to you, mainly because of your looks, is that a woman that you want?
Yeah, but these dudes ain't going out with them for their quality. Anyway, he's just having fun until he gets to where he wants to be, and then when he wants a family... He still has plenty of options. In fact, more options now because he's not only older, maybe a silver fox, but he's got a lot more cashola.
Goes both ways. I think if you're a girl and you're like genetically gifted, like you look amazing in your photos, and you're only kind of portraying one side of your personality and only showing like very...
By the way, honey, he's got all women. He's got all women to choose from, so what are you talking about?
Visually appealing photos, but not as much personality, and guys like you just for how you look. I don't know if the quality of that is really what you want. One thing I do know though is that
depends on the individual. It's circumstantial, based on the person, what they're seeking, what their virtues and what their values are, and do what they're seeking in a woman line up with who and what they are.
Culture has a huge maximizer mindset. When I was reading this book called How to Not Die Alone, it's essentially another relationship book.
That's why you got a lot of theory and no good ideas. You're reading too many relationship books, probably written by women or simpy dudes.
I read, but it was so good. So essentially, the author was talking about the fact that there's, in life, you're either a maximizer or a satisficer. Maximizers love to exhaust all of their options.
It's not even a word.
If they're buying, like, I don't know, a new laptop, they want to read all the reviews, watch...
It's a false dichotomy, by the way. I guarantee you, there's more types of people than that.
All the YouTube videos, go to the stores, try them out, like test out the keyboards, like check the prices, like what discounts can I get, everything. The satisficer, they've got an idea of what they want. They've got their eye on maybe...
Sounds just like a regular conscientious conservative type individual.
I don't know, like an Acer, like a flexible touchscreen laptop. They'll try out a few, look at a few reviews and watch a couple videos. But they are satisfied once their needs have been met. The maximizer might also want that Acer laptop that's a touchscreen, but then they'll also consider like a MacBook Air. They'll also consider an iPad, and then they'll go back to the Acer, and then they'll think about like a Samsung. Like, they tend to like go back and forth a lot and like exhaust their options. And when it comes to dating, maximizers are the sort of people that they have an idea of what they want. They've got a long list of things. They've got that avatar in mind of who they want to date. And they tell...
Isn't there some kind of happy medium between the two? I mean, these two don't exclude each other. What is she yammering about?
Tell themselves, like, until I find this person, until I meet someone, go on a date, and they tick all these boxes, like, I'm not going to settle. Maybe that sounds like some...
Well, that's all women in the West. But that's not the majority of men. Men are easy. Stop trying to make men responsible by falsely equating them with women. We're not to blame for the current effed up state of affairs in dating and relationships. It's women. You're the ones that have adopted the false ideology we all know as a death cult. Stop trying to conflate men with the gender that we know is really responsible. We don't follow that ideology. Only you do, and that ideology is 100% destructive to families, to relationships, to dating, to gender dynamics. Shut up. Start speaking some truth instead of this propagandized BS, milk toast, false equivalency nonsense.
One that's high value, doesn't settle for less. But actually, in this book, the author, she's a relationship expert. She's actually head of love and science.
I knew it, relationship expert. So we've got, an argument from authority here. That's a logical fallacy, sweetheart, if you don't know what that is. She's a relationship expert. Says who? Has me a PhD in dating. Yeah, total nonsense.
At Hinge, she said that satisficers are actually more happy and fulfilled in relationships. They're people that when they are going on dates or on the dating apps, they have an idea of what they want. They go in with like a vision. Okay, this is...
Satisfiers. Yeah, sounds like a simp to me.
The traits that I want, not necessarily the appearance that I want. They're not really leading with type. It's more so like what values do we have and what values do we share.
Okay, but that's the way you're supposed to go about it. Why is that called a satisfier then? That would imply that you were going out of your way to satisfy someone else. Wouldn't it be satisfy-e? That I'm satisfied as an individual? I don't know. The book sounds like a garbage to me.
Because that's another thing she said, like, your type is a waste of time. But I'm actually planning a separate...
Didn't you just say you have a type and you're looking for a type? And now your type is a waste of time? Of course it is, because it's idealized nonsense, okay? Generally speaking.
Video on that. Your type is a waste of time. Instead, what matters is like your values when you're going into dating. Like satisficers go in thinking, I want someone with integrity, trustworthy, someone who wants a family, like similar future plans. If that means they're a 6'2" blonde, cool. If that means they're
No. You just said values and virtues. What does that have to do with 6'2" blonde? And you just said that's fine, that's okay. You just contradicted yourself. She's an idiot. She's trying to pander to as many people as humanly possible so as to up her audience and not piss anybody off.
5'7", brown-haired guy, I don't know, ginger person, I don't know. They're happy with that.
Yeah, but that's only men. This is never women. Women are never happy with a 5'7" dude. Where are women, even the most mid chick like you, where are you getting with a 5'7" tall dude, huh? Nowhere.
Once they found someone that meets the values they're looking for and like they're satisfied,
so she considers values to be, they can also be superficial things. See, we differ on that. I don't.
Stop looking. They don't think what if there's better, or they don't get the ick really quickly. They're not really sensitive to like red flags and beige flags. Satisficers in my mind sound like very secure attached people. They sound like people.
You think secure people ignore red flags? Oh, I'm sure you would like that to be the case. This is just wishful thinking on your part, honey, because you got tons of red flags.
Well, that if an issue does arise on the first date or second date, like they will talk it through. They're not going to up and leave, which sounds very different to the person who has avoidant attachment, who is...
Oh, so if you get a skittish at a first date and leave, that makes you insecure. Gotcha. Right. I don't know what my boundaries are. I don't have standards. Oh, no. I don't have preferences. Right? And none of these are hard. No. I don't have hard preferences. And if I do, I'm insecure. Yeah. Only from a man. If you're a woman, that's okay. Ghost away.
Really alarmed and almost like triggered by any sort of difference or conflict that you have in a relationship. Maximizes and satisfices applies to literally all different areas of life. You might actually be maybe a satisficer in work or your hobbies, entertainment, Netflix. I don't know. Maybe you can find something on Netflix in 2 minutes and you're happy with that. But then when it comes to dating, you're a maximizer. Like you're never satisfied with the people you go on dates with. Like you always just want something more. I think it's tricky as someone like me. I've not been in a relationship. So sometimes I find I'm going on.
She's not been in a relationship, but she's making a podcast. She's making a video telling us how to be in relationships. Make it make sense, please. I have no experience in X thing, but I will tell you how to do X thing.
on dates, and now that I'm knowing maximizer and satisficer, I'm like, okay, Christina, don't exhaust all your options. Like, be sensible, be a satisficer. Satisficers are happier. Research shows satisficers are more happy and fulfilled. Don't try to exhaust your options.
More happier, even that's redundant. You would just say happier. You don't say more happier. That's saying more twice, you idiot. So you need to take a language class. You need to go back to English. But anyway, study some more English. No, but that still doesn't mean they're happy. They're just happier than the other group. But both, compared to somebody who actually knows how to be happy and knows that nouns, persons, places, things don't bring happiness, those are the happiest people of all.
But then I find it difficult because it's like I don't actually know what I'm looking for. I've not had a relationship.
I'm more happy than this miserable guy. So that's the ideal. Nah, I'm still pretty miserable, just less miserable. So that's the ideal, okay.
I'm testing it out as I'm going. What I'm trying to work on is going more from the insecure attachment styles, like anxious and avoidance. And
so they want women to make a lot of mistakes and become damaged goods and have lots of baggage and be dragging lots of chains of misery and trauma and suffering behind them. Because that's the best way to learn. Now, the best way to learn actually is to learn from others. That's called real wisdom, is learning from the mistakes of others. But, you know, the powers that be have broken the wisdom chains between prior generations and recent ones. So now, the way things are created and set up, women are encouraged and told it's the ideal to damage yourself as much as possible, which, with the way women are and as fragile as they are emotionally, and as much psychic damage as they take on compared to men in similar circumstances, makes them undateable. Makes it impossible to be in a relationship with them. So no family, no marriages, no stable families, and if you do have one, the woman wants to be in charge because she's been damaged, she's been hurt, she's been run through the ringer so much that she's so afraid to let the man be in charge because she's been so traumatized by men via her own choices, which she was told to make by the powers that be, the media, academia, the government, other women, that now she's in a relationship where she's the boss. And it doesn't work because that's not in line with the natural order. And nothing ends up working, and so you are beholden to the powers that be, and the powers that be are not beholden to you and the family, which used to be the bedrock foundation of Western society culture, but not anymore, because women are encouraged to make them mistakes early on and mess themselves up big time, and this is what you get.
More to like someone who's secure, someone who can openly communicate and trust other people. It's okay to, in the book where they were talking about attachment styles, the author was saying like it's okay to actually like be dependent on people. We have a culture which is very like be independent, like be a boss babe, like you don't need men, like which is all true, that's all great. You should be independent, you should have your own life and your own.
So she's encouraging women to make the same mistakes that women have been making now for 2-3 generations and to become messed up, traumatized, baggage-ridden creatures that have no ability to trust or pair bond. That's okay. That's all right. You should listen to me. You're an idiot.
Money and your own career. But when you're in a relationship, it wouldn't be I don't think it'd be a proper relationship if you didn't like depend on them a little bit in terms of like, I think dependence to me, when I think of dependence.
You mean submissiveness? Oh no, can't have that. Then the man would be in charge and I would get hurt. I gotta be the boss. I gotta have the hand. Yeah.
I think of like emotional, like emotionally, like I want you to be there for me. I want to be there for you. Like I want us to be together. I don't mean dependence like you're paying my rent or like you need to buy me shoes. Like that's like transactional actually, which is why
all relationships are transactional. It's just that women today fail to understand that the currency in a relationship is virtue. That's the currency, okay?
Sometimes when we go into dating, like not wanting to catch feelings, we're shooting ourselves in the foot because it's like to have a solid relationship, I do think you need to emotionally be there for each other.
So you don't want to catch feelings, so you're an avoidant type personality also, even though you just said you're a secure personality type. Yeah, okay, sweetheart.
And without being there for each other emotionally, without catching feelings, how do you depend on each other for those?
What does that mean, being there for somebody emotionally? Explain that, please. Because as a man, I don't know what you mean. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? I've been in plenty of relationships. I'm there. I'm a bedrock. I don't become emotional, though. She don't know what she's talking about. She's an idiot.
Feelings. It's so tough. I literally don't have all the answers, guys. Like, it's so tough because
it does feel like... You have no answers. You're the most confused creature I see with your fake glasses and your wig.
There's a lot of game players out there. The thing that I've come to realize is I feel like the more that you date and you're on the apps, you can quickly suss people out. Like there's certain things people say, that guys say, that you're like, okay.
If you've got that much experience and you're able to suss people out that much, you're playing the game too much. You're dating too much. You're not dating with purpose, okay? You're part of the problem.
You're messing around here. I was talking to a guy.
Everybody that's dating in modern times is messing around. Dating, it wasn't even a thing. Dating is a very recent invention. You would see a woman, you would find a woman, you'd be interested in the woman, you would court her, and the intent would be to get to know her better to see if you're a good match with the intention of eventually getting married. Dating in no way resembles that. There's no purpose or intentionality in it. You're all playing games, including you, Miss Fake Hair.
A few weeks ago, who the conversation was going well. It wasn't blowing my socks off, but it was just like, small talk, chit chat. What do you do for work? Where are you from? Oh, you live here? Oh, cool, yes.
You're like a drug addict, right? You chased the dragon too many times. Not blowing my socks off, so it's got to blow your socks off? Of course it does.
It's a nice area. Very like one of them. And
yeah, she's burned out. Her dopamine receptors are fried.
And then he, out of the blue, it actually was unexpected. He was kind of like, oh, you should come over to the beach near my house so that we could go for a walk. Because I think we spoke about like enjoying the outdoors. And the fact that it was on the same day, he was saying like, come to my house today. And it was so like spontaneous, like now, like no warning, no planning for it. Like that was giving me a bit of a red flag in terms of like, I feel like he just wanted to hook up.
Why would you feel that? He said go for a walk. What? See, she's damaged goods already. He makes a perfectly innocent offer to go for a walk. He probably wants you to see his house too, and that he has a nice house, that he has resources, that he's got some cashola. What in that offer told you he wanted to hook up? How is that a red flag, by the way? That's not a red flag. I mean, only if you are a pessimist and you expect the worst, which is what you would expect from somebody like this who has damaged goods, because she's embraced this idea that it's good to adopt a worldview and an approach to life where you don't seek out the wisdom of others, but you just try to make as many mistakes as you possibly can so you're as damaged as humanly possible. Brilliant, honey.
Invite someone on a proper date that's like conveniently a stone's throw away from your house.
What are you talking about, proper? That's a proper date. That's better than going out for drinks or dinner. You wanted to talk about transactional? That's transactional, sweetheart. Most women won't even go out with a guy, won't date a guy, let alone consider sleeping with him unless he spends X amount of dollars, does for me what is a proper date. Where'd you get the idea that, what do you think is proper? Going for a walk is about the best thing you could possibly be doing on a first date, because I don't know you, yet you expect me to spend money on you? She's nothing more than your average Western broad, enlightened, F-word, death cultist, and she is no different. This is just a pick-me. She's a chameleon. She's trying to present herself as somehow more enlightened and more in line with a real effing broad, but she's really just like all the rest.
And you wouldn't do it as well, like no notice, like the same day.
Why wouldn't I? Where are you getting these rules? Who's telling you these things? No walks on a first date, no spontaneity. You can't ask me. But by the way, so if he would have asked you to go to a coffee shop, oh no, that wouldn't have been good either. If he'd asked you to go for drinks, no, that's not good enough either. If he'd asked you to go to dinner near his house, you would have been okay with that, you just said. But because he asked you to go for a walk, I think he wants to sleep with me. What? They're the same. But she was okay with one, but not okay with the other, because one involved money. Transactional. Oh, but she's enlightened. Ooh.
But I think after you talk to people a few times, there's just certain little things after a while that you'll pick up on where you're no longer naive. Like you are
naive and you're stupid to boot. You're an idiot. This is the problem. They read some books. They watch YouTube videos. They have no real life experience, but they read all these books and they think they've got all this knowledge and insight, even though they're totally completely lacking in self-awareness and have no real world experience. Yeah. This is the typical know-it-all, Dunning-Kruger effect, student syndrome, where these idiots, these morons, get a little bit of knowledge, but it's very, very dangerous because they're lacking so much knowledge that they don't know what they don't know, and they know just enough, and they've got this false confidence and this air of superiority, and they think they're so smart, but they don't know enough. They know how much they don't actually know.
You're clued up. Like, this is not a guy that's genuinely wanting to spontaneously see me. Like, he wants to hook up. And there are a lot...
No, he genuinely wanted to see you. Why would you assume... I saw nothing in that offer that would lead me to believe that all he wanted was a hookup. You just assumed the worst because of your baggage.
Lot of those on the apps, I think, I can only speak for myself as a woman, but I feel like you do have to have quite a high threshold for, like, I don't need validation from this app. I'm not on Hinge to validate myself. I'm not on Hinge.
Of course you are.
Looking for compliments, or
of course you are.
For like people to say that they like me, or you have to be on there like for genuine reasons.
No, it doesn't. Apps are for hookup. You are not going to find a mate. You're not going to find a partner. You're going to find a husband, whatever you want to call it. They're not for that. So good luck.
Otherwise, I think little moments like this where someone's telling you to come over to, like, literally basically his garden, to go for a walk on the beach near his house. Like, I think if you are on the apps for insecure reasons where you want validation, sometimes you might let little things like that slip, and then you might end up in situationship, or you might, like, you never know. But validation as a woman and trying to get validation from relationships is a very common thing, but not something that people talk about often, I feel like. If you're one of those girls that...
Because it speaks negatively of women. That's why.
Never gets attention in school or in high school, and then you turn 18, you start to, like, grow into your features, you start to dress differently, dress nicer, do your makeup. You might start to feel more confident in yourself, and then also start to, like, I don't know, get attention from men. But if you're not careful...
Believe me, you're getting attention from men before 18 if you're halfway decent looking. I don't know what you're talking about.
And the validation that you're getting is, like, coming from the wrong place. You might end up in an unhealthy relationship.
Why don't you tell us where that wrong place is? These dating apps, perhaps? Well, that's all they're for. Validation. And the S is also for validation.
Relationships. I spoke about this a lot.
For the women, anyway.
More in this video, which I'm going to link here, where I was breaking down a lot of the things that men secretly...
Okay, that's enough. I can't take no more anywhere. We're at the end anyhow. So this seems to be a very new trend. People who have no idea what they're talking about. She's extremely mid. She's just not obese. So she knows how to put the fork down. She's got a decent amount of ghrelin in her system. So she's not overeating. That's the only thing she's got going for her. Fake hair, fake glasses. I can tell those glasses are fake. They're not real just by looking at the lenses. Everything about this chick is fake, from her, skull cap weave there, to her glasses, to her faux understanding of relationships. Don't listen to idiots like this. Unfortunately, she has a very large following and gets a lot of views because, she's not a blob. And that apparently is all you need these days. And maybe, not be overly critical of men and blame them for everything, as most broads do, to get a decent amount of views. But let me know what you think. Does this chick know what she's actually talking about? Am I just clueless? Or am I right on the money in my assessment of her, and that she's just like every other modern woman, and that this chameleon creature is why you need to stay away from Western broads? Let me know what you think in the comments, and please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not already. Hit that notification bell, let you know when I post new content. Leave a comment, it's good for the algorithm. And, check the description. There's various donation options if you'd like to support my work. And on that note, I'm out of here. I am the realist philosopher, and I wish you all a good and pleasant day. Take care.